This is my place in Canadian history. My place in Canadian history is a short story. Aside from having my great-grandparents come to Canada briefly before World War II, my history begins with my parents and I migrating to Canada in October 2016. Brits have been settled in Canada since before it became a country in 1867 because of our empire, and for Brits, immigration to Canada is highly sought after because of the bettered way of life and the growing economy. Sadly, I do not hold the information about how my great-grandparents came and left Canada, but I can assume it was World War related, as my great-grandfather was a soldier in the war and my nan was then born in the middle of the war. However, when my family moved, Canada's economy was slumping, but not to desperate measures. Here in southern Saskatchewan, oil mining and natural resources are our main source of income for economic growth. My dad landed a job for an agricultural business in Estevan in July, and fast forward the craziest 3 months of my life, we immigrated over here on October 25th, 2016. In the 3 months I have been here, sadly there has not been any truly significant world or even national events that have happened and affected Canada. In 2016, the immigration numbers of Canada were raised, and so more and more people came into the country, including a record number of refugees by targeting to welcome 300,000 new residents. Also, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has introduced a long-awaited carbon tax to the country to help tackle the climate change and the dependent use of oil as a non-renewable resource. Now I am in high school in grade 12. I have found the experience moving here truly surreal. To my surprise, there has been cultural, economic and social shocks. For example, in England we have tertiary to quaternary jobs, whereas here in southern Saskatchewan the oil fields still have high employment rates. Additionally, this was the first time being submerged in an environment where I didn't know anyone. It was very overwhelming and I couldn't help but feel like an outcast on my first few days due to being foreign. However, since everybody is polite, I was welcomed into this society quickly. The education in Canada was also different to how it was in England. However, I found the Canadian school system less stressful for me, so it was nice and refreshing to experience that. With 2017 being Canada's 150th birthday, the nation cannot help but commend their achievements made. For example, their place in joining in with wartime activities and their activism with human and women's rights. And this year is a good year to recognise these. However, in the fall, I will be turning to England to complete university, as it is in my best interest for educational and economic reasons. Although I am sad to leave Canada because it is such a lovely place, my parents will continue to live here and withhold our place in Canadian history. I hope that one day I can return to Canada and continue living in the ongoing creation and shaping of young Canada.